Hey, look, this right here for my Hebrews. Don't fold. You get tried in that fire, you real gold. A real diamond, an arbor, like let me test it. If you make it through that, then you get your blessing. It won't prosper, but you gon' see that weapon. Plead the blood of a marsh, y'all get protection. And y'all come up out the world, you need an exit. The day of the Lord coming so unexpected. I pray to Abba, I pray we make it through the tribulation. Psalm 91, keep him your habitation. Keeping these commandments that we have in patience. All this stuff going on, it'll have you racing. Faith in Messiah is the only way.
How we doing, everybody? Hopefully everybody feeling mighty in the spirit, right? Thanks again for tuning in. And like I said, this video, it's for people that's trying to get into their scripture, man. And get into your Bible. It's a very mighty thing. I want to get the book of Romans real quick, right? I want to try and kick it off fast, just meaning like right into the precepts. I want to try and make my videos like not so long, but at the end of the day, I got to get the message through. First, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, being the name of God and the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, name being Yahweh Shai, right? And today I have my garment on that has Christ's name in the Paleo Hebrew, right? And that will read Yahweh Shai, right? It's an old ancient text, but y'all gotta get used to the name, He says there's only one name, one name in heaven that can save you, roughly paraphrasing the precept, right? But let's get right into it. Here's the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 7, and it reads, "What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded," right? And my next precept gonna go into a little bit on the election, right? Because not everybody was chosen to really understand the Bible, really understand the precepts, right? And just take this walk, right? So it's a blessing that you even watching this video, the Most High, he's reaching his hand out to you and trying to give you the opportunity to the kingdom of heaven, right? "What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And David said, Let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them," right? So let their ways be their downfall, right? They want to mock, they want to scoff, they want to down talk you for trying to live a righteous lifestyle, right? And the Lord said in the book of Isaiah chapter 5, right? He said, "Woe unto them that call evil good, right? And good evil, right? And use salt for sweetness." I'm gonna get that too. Let me get this precept real quick. This is the book of John chapter 15 and verse 16, and it reads, "Ye have not chosen me," right? In red letter means it's Christ. The Bible will call it Jesus, but his name being Yahweh Shai, right? "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. And whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you," right? So Christ is saying, you didn't choose me, I chose you, right? And I ordained you, right? You've been ordained from the very beginning to take this walk at a certain time, right? You've been ordained to do certain things, right? And the more Christ is saying, like, I ordain you to be a follower of me, right? Because in the book of Romans 11, he said the rest were blinded. God blinded those people, right? That ears that they should not understand, eyes that they should not see the truth and get, just pretty much they won't get the biblical understanding, right? Verse 17, "These things I command you, that ye love one another," all right? Leviticus 17 or 19, Salakia, right? Verse 18, "If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world will love its own. But because ye are not of the world, I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you," right? Because if I was making videos and I had weed, I had liquor, I had women twerking and shaking their ass, right? This would blow up in the world, right? If we had videos about the LGBT community promoting that garbage, this video will blow up. I'll have tons of followers. People will look at me and I'll be a celebrity in this world, right? But because we doing righteous things and we following Christ, the world hates you for that, right? We have to understand in the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24, it said the world was given into the hand of the wicked. It was given unto the hand of the wicked, right? If not, where and who is he, right? That's why in the book of John, see, I could go on forever and ever and ever with these precepts, but I'm trying to make it to a couple more commandments and teach you guys how to pray according to the scripture, right? This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. It said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world, right? Because the world is wicked, right? We're going to get into it in a later video, but it's God that gave Satan dominion over the world. Satan just didn't rebel, fall from heaven, and came with angels, and they decided to mate with people, and that never happened, right? But we're going to get into that later on in the video. We're not talking about that, right? At least not right now. But that never happened, right? You read the book of Job, right? And Job presented himself. If it was a war and God was looking after Satan, he would have got him right there. But he said, have you considered Job? They had a conversation, right? Okay, go tempt him, right? He follows orders from the Most High, right? And we're going to get into that, but just not right now, right? But he said in book of John, chapter 15 and 19, if you are of the world will love its own, right? So that's why you got to come out of the world and follow Christ. They hated Christ, man. They hated Christ. And all he said was keep the commandments, right? Repent and keep the commandments, right? Have your faith, right? Keep your faith, keep your faith in me and keep the commandments for the Father, man, right? And that's how you get the kingdom of heaven. And they hated him for that. They killed him. They crucified him. Yes, that's how it was supposed to be, written so he could die for the nation of Israel. But, these things is, if it happened to Christ and it happened to his prophets, what more are you, right? Verse 20, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. Right? So, amen. Right? You leaving a mark. The Most High said, Christ said, if they crucify me, right, they're going to do the same to you. You're not greater than, you're not greater than your, Christ is our master. So he's saying like, you're not greater than me. If they did it to me, you're under me. Not in like a spit way, you know what I'm saying? But you're saying like your boss, if they could fire your boss, they could fire you. You're just an employee, right? That's like the same thing as Christ is saying, right? If they could crucify me and hate on me, they definitely gonna hate on you because you're a follower of me, right? But this is how you know you're doing good in this word, right? This is how you know you following after Christ for real, right? You're not gonna go to any church and they hating on people that go to church. Why? Because that's not the way. Right? You're not gonna. You could claim to be a damn Muslim, right? And you still get love and respect in the world. People go to prison and be Muslim, come out and still gang bang in prison, and nobody say nothing to them. Why? Because Allah is not the way, right? But when you claim your heritage back and when you start keeping the laws and commandments of the Bible, they hate on you. Why? Because this is the way. Christ was hated. If you're not hated for keeping the scripture, then it's just something ain't right, right? It was another precept I was going to get. But I forgot it, so it's okay. Right, let's get into some precepts. Right? Because last time we understood, last video that I made, we know that you're not supposed to eat pork. You're not supposed to eat crab. You're not supposed to eat lobster. Right? You're only supposed to eat things with in the seas that have fins and scales on it. Right? So now let's read about a couple more commandments. Right? This is the book of Exodus, chapter 35. And verse 2, right? 6 days shall work be done, but on the seventh day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day. So wait, pause. People are like, what? You gonna kill me? Nah, like I said, those in the Mosaic laws, they didn't have Christ. So if you were caught breaking the Shabbat, right, or the Sabbath day, they will have to kill you, right? Those are the judgments of the Lord. But we have the grace and mercy of Christ, right? So now you have time to get it right, right? Because now you know the law. Now you're starting to understand the law. Now you're gonna be held accountable for that. So when Judgment Day comes, you can't say, "Oh, I didn't know," right? Because you're watching this video and now you know you got to keep the Shabbat, right? 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you an holy day, right? When you look on the calendar, Sunday is the beginning of the week. So what does that mean? It means you got to keep it from on Saturday. Saturday is the last day of the week, right? Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the 7th day, right? So fire is not talking about, just don't go light a fire in your backyard. He's talking about cooking, right? That means no microwave, no trying to get fancy with it. No microwave, no cooking up, right? Like, oh, damn, how am I gonna eat? You can eat fruit, you can eat sandwiches, you can eat, it's like salad, you can eat yogurt, cereal, like oatmeal. Like there's plenty of things you can make, or pre-make, and then like maybe leave it on your counter, cover it up, so you can eat it throughout the Sabbath day, right? What's 24 hours? What's sundown to sundown of you eating like a sandwich, or you eating other things that don't have to be cooked? It's not hard. I do it all the time, right? It's not hard, right? So no cooking throughout your habitation, right? Let me see. All right, so let's go, because I told you it's from sundown to sundown, right? Because in the book of Genesis, let's read it. It says, give me a moment, right? In the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 5, it reads, and God called the light day, and darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day, right? So a new day starts when the sun goes down, right? So you start your day when the sun goes down. America might have it, or the world might have it, to where 12 a.m. is the beginning, in the middle of the night is in the beginning of a new day. But the Bible says when the sun goes down, that's the beginning of a new day, right? That's why you started from Friday sundown and ends Saturday sundown, right? A full 24 hours of you keeping the Shabbat. And it's a holy day of rest, right? Let's get the book of Nehemiah, right? I think it's chapter 10 and verse 31, right? This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 10 and verse 31, and it reads, and if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day, right? So you're not supposed to buy nor sell on the Sabbath day, right? It's a holy day of rest, right? So why would you go and defile the Sabbath day like that? So no cooking, right? And no work shall be done therein, right? So no cooking, no cleaning, right? I'm not saying don't take your garbage out, don't do your dishes, right? Because obviously you have to do that, right? But it's saying no work, right? If you could prevent yourself from going to work, to go into your job, then that's what you're supposed to do, right? If you could, right? If you could prevent yourself from cooking, obviously that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're not supposed to buy and sell. Nothing's so important that you have to buy, or that you have to buy on the Sabbath day, right? Some people may have to emergency go buy some formula, go buy some diapers, go buy some, oh damn, I need this, I need that, I need it. You know what I'm saying? If you absolutely need it, go ahead and do it. You have to do what you have to do, right? But you're not supposed to. So if you could refrain yourself, of course, refrain yourself. Like I said, we in the grace period, right? But in these times, we were able to keep our laws and keep our feast days without a doubt. But in this time where we can only do so much, right? We got to do what we got to do right now, right? But if you're able to do it, do it. I get the Sabbath off of my job, right? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 58 and verse, let me see, 13. And it reads, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, right? So the Sabbath day is not for you to talk about Kobe, not for you to talk about LeBron and watch the game, and it's not for you to go on and and have a party and stuff like that. It's not for you to be doing whatever you feel like doing, right? It's a day of rest, right? So holy day, right? Every weekend it's a holy day. That's not saying, damn, what can I do, right? Of course, it's you're supposed to read, you're supposed to study. If you want to go out and take your kids out to the park, of course, that's a day of rest. That's a family day, right? But you're not supposed to be, talk about the business and talk about how much money you're gonna make and, oh man, I can't wait till the Sabbath is over so I can make this money, right? You're going off, right? The Lord gave you a day of rest, right? You're not supposed to find your own pleasures, meaning you're not supposed to have sex, right? Because in the law, when you have sex, you become unclean, and right, that's low key a little different breakdown. I don't really want to get into that, but after you have sex, you're unclean, right? Let me see. All right, so let's get into another precept right here. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19. Right, the book of Leviticus, chapter 19. In verse 27. Let me see. And it reads, "Ye shall not round the corners of your round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard." Right? So, me, I'm kind of already bald, but what I do is I take the clippers, hit it with a 0, and I shave my head. But if you hit it with a razor, to be bald, then you're going off. Say you don't have clippers. Say you don't have clippers and, your hair grow kind of crazy and you balding and stuff like that. Then, I guess you could do, you got to do what you got to do until you get those clippers, but you want to refrain yourself from doing that because you don't want to take advantage of your grace period, right? Because the Most High, he don't give no man permission to sin, right? So you don't want to take advantage of his mercies, right? Let's read a couple more. All right, let's get into the Levitical. Let's get into it. Matter of fact, I already have it. So let's get into like a sexual intercourse kind of thing, right? And how you will be unclean because I'm already here. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 15 and verse 16. If any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until even. Right? So say you get it going in the morning, right? You're supposed to wash yourself, take off your clothes, toss your clothes in the washer, right? And you're unclean until evening. That means you can't go around brothers dapping them up, go around a congregation, right? You're unclean. And obviously your woman will be unclean too. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water and be unclean until evening. The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean until even, right? If a woman have an issue and her flesh be blood, right? Meaning like if you're on your cycle, right? She shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever touches her shall be unclean until even. So if you're on your cycle, you're unclean for 7 days, right? And your cycle is usually what, 7 days? I don't know, right? But I figure a woman's cycle is probably like 7 days or so, right? Everything that she lieth upon her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth her in bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until even. So if your woman is on her cycle, right, you become unclean too because, you cuddling with your girl and, I love you, baby. You know what I'm saying? So you become unclean as well, right? It's not a bad thing. You're unclean. You bleeding. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna going around people while you bleeding and stuff like that. It's just the laws of the Lord, right? Because you could people get a lot of diseases and stuff like that from blood, from mucus and stuff like that. So it's just to keep everybody healthy and keep everybody clean, right? Verse 23. And if it be on her bed or on any whereon she sitteth, when he toucheth it, he shall be unclean until even. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he lieth shall be unclean. Right? So if you sleeping with if you get to know that woman, right? If you have an intercourse with that woman, and like, oh shit, babe, you on your cycle, right? You unclean, right? You'll be unclean. What the Lord says, 7 days, right? And if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness shall be as the days of her separation shall be unclean, right? So you'll be unclean another 7 days, right? So let me see if I could get into more. So you're not supposed to shave your beard, right? You're not supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat crab, shrimp, lobster. You're not supposed to eat anything that's cloven footed and that doesn't chew the cud, right? Cloven footed is like a hoof like that, right? Like think of a cow's foot, right? Cows, goats, sheep, they're cloven footed like that, and they chew the cud, right? So sorry, I'm over here burping this water, right? So they're cloven footed like that, and they chew the cud, meaning they eat grass, right? And their stomachs have a digestion to where they eat it, they swallow it, they have one stomach that digests it, it comes up again, they eat it, they chew it, they swallow it, and it goes into another stomach. So they digest their food really good. That's why the Lord said don't eat a pig, because it eats anything. It's cloven footed, but it's unclean because it eats anything. It doesn't sweat. It's just a really dirty animal. The Most High made the pig to be the world's garbage can, right? It eats anything. It eats dung. It eats dead people. It eats dead rats. It eats its own. It literally eats anything. It's full of worms and stuff. You don't want it. The Lord said it's so dirty, don't even touch it. Because if you're touching a dead pig and then suck on anything else or like eat anything else, you might have those little microscopic eggs on you, and you get tapeworms in your stomach or in your brain or something. It's deadly, man. All right, the Lord's not telling you this because He want to make it hard for you to enjoy life. Nah, the Lord's telling you this because He wants you to stay healthy. Right? Let me see if I can get another precept. Right? On a couple more maybe dietary laws. Let me see. Right, so this is the book of Leviticus chapter 11. I kind of went into this yesterday, but I'm going to get into it again. The book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 9, right? I start at verse 9. Because I don't think yesterday I went into the fishes, right? The book of Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 9. And ye shall eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, and in the seas, in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, in the rivers, or all that move in the water, and of any living thing which is in the waters, shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination to all you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses an abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. Right? So the Most High, He kind of repeating Himself. Don't eat these things. If it has fins and scales, you can eat it. Right? Lobster, shrimp, those things are bottom feeders. You're not supposed to be eating that stuff. Right? There's people eating shark, right? Eel. There's people eating there's a lot of food. I'm not a seafood eater, so I wouldn't really know. But if it doesn't have fins and scales on it, you are not to eat it. Right? You are not to eat it. Right? And there's a couple bugs you could eat that I bet people didn't know. Let me see. The book of Leviticus 11 and verse, let me see, 21. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Even of them ye may eat the locust after his kind, and the ball locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. So you can even eat those things. You'll read in the Bible how I forgot the name, but they took up locusts and honey, right? They ate locusts and honey. It's a clean thing to eat, right? So if you gotta eat the locust, you gotta eat the locust. Some people are into those things, right? But let's get a couple more precepts. Right, we got the Sabbath. We got you can't shave your head. We got you can't shave your beard. Right, you can't mow off your beard. We got you gotta the things you can eat, the things you can't eat. Right. Now let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians real quick. right? Book of First Corinthians. This might be a long video, but you know, you got to get into the law, right? These are things you got to touch on because you got to understand how to serve the Most High, right? This is the book of First Corinthians chapter 11 and verse, let's start at verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. Every man praying or prophesying having his head covered dishonoreth his head, right? So if I was to be out here reading my Bible, teaching y'all, and something was to be covering the top of my head, I'll be dishonoring Christ and I'll be dishonoring God. Verse 5, but every woman that prayeth or prophesying having her head uncovered dishonoreth her head, for that is even all one as if she were shaven, right? So if a woman was to have her head uncovered, she dishonoreth her head. So as a man, you have it uncovered, and as a woman, you have your head covered, right? In certain ways, you're supposed to go about things, right? And church not going to teach you that you're supposed to pray, what a woman's supposed to pray and read her Bible, or even watch a breakdown like this with her head covered, right? Because this is a book of prophecy. So when you're in here reading, you're reading a book of prophecy, you cover your head as a woman. As a man, you leave it uncovered, right? Let's read the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4. 4 and verse, let me see, 4 and verse 11. These things command and teach. Let no man despise thy youth. Be thou an example of the believers in word and conversation and charity and spirit and faith and purity. Right? Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Right? So you're even supposed to you're supposed to be always reading. Right? You're always supposed to be reading, because as a youngin, you're supposed to be an example of how to be a leader to Christ. Our old heads don't know how to serve Christ, man. Right? They tell you go to church. Church ain't the way. They didn't teach you women how to pray. They didn't teach you what's unclean. Teach you how to keep the laws. That you gotta keep the laws to go to heaven. Right? They got a false Messiah. I know y'all seen my intro. Right? Revelation 1 and 14. We're gonna get into that breakdown too. Right? Not today. Right? But Christ is a black man. Job 30 and 30. Right? Job was black. Right? David was black. Solomon was black. Solomon said, I am black but comely. Look not upon my skin, for it's like it's burnt. What did Solomon say? I don't want to get off topic, but Solomon is black. Ezekiel chapter 1, it tells you that that the angels have dark skin, right? Daniel chapter 7, I believe, the Most High, he has dark skin, right? So these people in the Bible, they're melanated people. Right? That's why they tell you go to church, because if you go to church, you're not going to read. You're going to listen to what Pastor Porkchop got to say, right? And you're not going to read your book and see that this is your history book. These people, they're dark-skinned people, right? And we definitely going to go into the curses in Deuteronomy 28, in a video, man, because like I said, there's gonna be things that's gonna be hard for some people to understand, but you gotta do what you gotta get the truth. Right? In my intro video says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I can't sit here and lie to you for views. I'm not lying to nobody, right? I don't care about the views. I'm going to make this video, and the Lord bring you to my video to watch my video, then all praises to the Most High. If not, then Romans 11 and 7. Some people were blinded. It is what it is, right? But this is my job as a watchman, right? I know the knowledge, so I got to go out and teach my people. Ezekiel 3 and 17, right? This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9, right? And it reads, "In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel." Right? So women, what is modest apparel? When you look at modest apparel, is dresses, not tight dresses where it's barely above, where it's like in your mid thigh to where you sit down, you gotta close your legs real tight because your coochie might be popping out. You know what I'm saying? Or when you bend down, you gotta bend down real slow because your dress your butt may pop out your dress, and you can see your thong through the. That's not modest apparel, right? You dressing like a harlot, and the Most High, He not dealing with harlots, right? You wear a dress that's if you got a body, you got a body. It is what it is, right? But you wear a nice size dress, right? It's not skin tight, right? Leggings is not modest apparel, right? You're showing off your body, your figure, you causing people to lust after you, right? Women can lust after women. Men be lusting after women. They like, damn, look at her. You know what I'm saying? If you adorn yourself in modest apparel, your head is wrapped, right? You're gonna attract the right kind of men, right? With shamefacedness and sobriety, right? Meaning you're not in everybody's face. You're not loud mouth and you're not popping your gum. You're not in everybody's face and you sober, right? What kind of woman is it that you high all the time? You off the Xan, you drunk, you smoking weed all the time? That's manly as hell, right? Not with broidered hair or gold or pearl or costly array, right? So you're not flexing your bag, you're not got them big earrings and you got all this gold and chain on you like Cardi B, you know what I'm saying? And you loudmouth and you trying to draw attention to men, right? You're supposed to be modest, right? Do those things for your man, right? Not for the world, right? You showing off, popping your gum, you in everybody's face and you loudmouth. The Lord not dealing with people. The Lord is not dealing with women like that. Right? And that's going to hurt a lot of women too. Right? They're going to hear that and say, damn, I don't know if I could, I don't know. Like, I got to just show off my body. If you're looking for attention, this word is not for you. Right? Verse 10. But which becometh woman professing godliness with good works. And that's you professing your godliness. Right? You becoming a female follower of Christ. Right? By doing these things. Verse 11, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor be usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first created, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in a transgression. Right? So, hey, you women are not, if you got a woman pastor, that's off. She's not supposed to be teaching, right? If a woman, if you need any questions, if you got a man, you go to your man for answers, right? You're not in every man's face trying to get answers, right? Because Eve was deceived. Why? Because when you go really into the breakdown of Genesis, that apple was not an apple. I mean, that fruit was not an apple. It wasn't some kind of rare fruit that we don't have no more. Nah, she was going into other doctrines. Cause why? Because she was entertaining. If she was married, why she talking to some dude? Why some dude kicking doctrine to her? That's off, right? But we gonna go into that Genesis breakdown way later in the channel because that's a really, really, really deep breakdown, right? So the woman is not supposed to teach nor be the have authority over your man, right? You want to be the man of the household as a woman. You want to wear the pants in the relationship. That's off. That's off, right? Oh you better do this. You better do that. Who are you to tell a man to do that? And that's gonna hurt a lot of women. They're gonna be like, nah, ain't no man telling me what to do, right? Ain't no man telling me what to do. He gonna pay my bills and I'm gonna run it. The woman not dealing with that. I mean, the Lord is not dealing with that, right? And that's gonna hurt a lot of people, man, right? And I think I'm gonna cut it. Here, and I'm gonna get into praying in my next video. So now we know a couple more things, a couple more commandments, right? Keep the Sabbath. You can eat beef, chicken, goat, lamb, right? Anything that has cloven footed and chewed the cud, you could look up on Google what things are clean, right? A woman, wear modest apparel, pray with your head wrapped, right? Read your book with your head covered. Let me get a couple more, right? Because you are supposed to, not only when you pray or read, right? When you pray, you're supposed to face the east. I think I'm gonna get that in my next video, right? But women, leave your head covered when you pray, when you read your book, right? When you watch videos like this, have your head covered. So you don't dishonor your head, right? Men, keep your head uncovered so you don't, when you pray or read or watch a video like this, so you don't dishonor your head, right? No pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, right? Nothing in the seas that don't have fins and scales. It has to have both, right? And clean animals have to have be cloven footed and chew with the cud, right? You got to keep the Sabbath day, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, right? No cooking, no cleaning, no working, no buying, no selling, right? It's a family day. Read, study, sleep, right? Enjoy your family time, right? Not saying you can't have a little wine. You can enjoy yourself. Kick back. The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath, right? But don't overdo it because it is a holy day and it's a day of the Lord, right? So with that, I'm gonna give it thanks for watching, right? Stay mighty through the spirit, right? Always be reading, fasting. You know, I'm gonna get into fasting in my later videos, right? And hey, stay diligent, man, because this world is waxing worse and worse every day, right? And if y'all have any questions, right, feel free to DM me or follow me on Instagram, right? It's JIGG__FOE, right? Jigfo, right? I might change my Instagram name later on, but as of right now, that's what it is. So with that, I'm gonna close out with my favorite precept, right? Give y'all a reminder of what the goal is for, right? What's the whole point of you even watching this video? What are you even trying to do? You know, what we trying to do is we trying to get the kingdom of heaven, right? Revelation 22:14. Blessed are they that keep the commandments, right? Blessed are they that do the commandments so they may have the right to the tree of life, right? That's what we're going for. We're striving for the kingdom of heaven, right? Just my closing precept. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. Right? So with that, all praises to the Most High. Right? God's name being Yahweh, his son's name being Yahushua. Right? In the Paleo Hebrew, like I said, these were Hebrew people. They spoke Hebrew. This is what the text was originally written in before it was translated into all these things. Right? But with that, I'm going to say stay mighty and thank